Unicom views with concern the fatal shooting numbers involving the security forces over the past week. At Monday, April 6, 2026, 12 persons have been shot and killed for the current month so far in incidents involving the law enforcement officers.
The Easter period has been particularly bloody. In the most recent incident on Easter Sunday, 2 brothers were among 3 men killed in Marchpen, Spanish Town, in a reported confrontation with the police. The bloody Easter period started on Good Friday, with 3 men being killed in a confrontation with the police in Sheffield, Westmoreland. 3 stolen goats in the car with the alleged gunmen at the time were also killed in the hail of bullets. Those incidents sandwich another triple shooting in Browns Hall district in St. Catherine and the killing of a reputed gang leader along Lincoln Alley, Kingston 13, both on Saturday. The shootings continue. What's been a bloody start to 2026 involving the security forces?
Since January 1, 2026, a total of 88 civilians have met their demise in reported confrontation with the security forces. 3 incidents of triple fatal shootings over the past 96 hours are being investigated by Indicom operational teams, including investigators and forensic personnel.
Mr. Faulkner has also confirmed a probe is ongoing in the case involving a police officer and an elderly man in Towson, Spanish Town. A video of the incident has gone viral and shows the policeman repeatedly hitting the 82-year-old man.
Crazy. The commission is also investigating a case of alleged assault occasioning actual bodily harm involving the security forces and a senior citizen. Indicom investigations are pursued to conclusion, notwithstanding any action taken by law enforcement. Between January 1, 2024 and December 31, 2025, of the 57 cases of law enforcement personnel ruled for charge, 9 cases have been for assault occasioning bodily harm.
The 88 civilians shot and killed so far in 2026 by the security forces is 1 higher than the 87 persons shot and killed at the same stage in 2025.
At this one we are talking about 88 people from January to now. 88 people.
Madness.
And the myriad of others that we don't know about. But we're parading about crime numbers. But we're parading about Jack 10. But we're parading about the People's National Party. When an 88-year-old man can get boxed up by a little young police. An 80-year-old man can get boxed up. The man shot him some boxing, man. Elder, that is your payday.
Payday.
ISAT is available. I promise you. Give him a call.
Link up Isaac the elder.
And I've seen many of them. It is as if they would have gotten a mandate to just violate people's rights.
Hey, yo, Mr. Ishmael, I don't know if Ishmael heard the video from Andrew Honest. That's exactly how I feel. I believe they have gotten a mandate to violate the people and human rights and them rights overall. The man say, yo, all the man have to do is just label you one criminal. And I done right there, so you deserve to die by the hands of the police. Meet your maker. Alright, that's the thing the Jamaica. Thrown away, but how it look, how it go on. We can't ignore all the signs them and want to pretend as if say, yeah, you know, it's not really that bad. No, it is. It's really that bad. You'd be surprised. It's really, really that bad. Ooh, Lord of mercy. Oh,
Michelle, talk to me.
Ishmael, I spoke about that elderly gentleman on Saturday. There's also another video that's been circulating on social media. I don't know if you guys have seen it, where there was like 4 or 5 policemen. There was a man on the ground, face down. One of the policemen had his foot in the man's neck while the man was on the ground. While the man was on the ground with the police officer with his foot in his neck, another one was trying to handcuff his hand behind him, right? What is happening with the police force in Jamaica? It's beginning to resemble how Israeli forces deal with certain citizens. And Jamaicans need to wake up and understand what they are seeing and what they are facing. And all this Dennis Garden, what they're talking about, I'm not saying that we're not supposed to speak about it, but this issue with how the police is treating the citizens in Jamaica, I'm not saying that if persons have committed certain crimes, they're not supposed to be apprehended and taken in by the law. But this has gone above and beyond what is justice where the police force is concerned, because the police force is there to serve
and protect.
Can have I don't know if the man was guilty or something or not. That's not the issue. But when you're going to have the man on the ground, face down, and you as a police officer stand up with your foot on the man's neck.
Come on.
And the people that.
You know what I mean? Real talk.
At certain times he pointed the gun, it's gone at them. And there's a hypocrisy among too many of us Jamaicans, because if that incident and the incident with the elderly gentleman had happened in America, where a white police had done it to a black person, the majority of persons on social media will be talking about racism, right? But when it is happening to our own black brothers and sisters, it's like it's nothing. I see people get up and them gather a police station to welcome home a criminal, them gather at the airport to welcome home Bujo and all these things. But when Jamaicans must come together as a unit, as one, to speak up against these things, they are silent.
I agree.
Are silent. How do you stand? Is that police? Is that where is nationwide? And there's a hypocrisy among too many of us Jamaicans, because if that incident and the incident with the elderly gentleman had happened in America, where a white police had done it to a black person,
ease out and squeeze out. Yourself. Put this.
The majority of persons.
Little night, truth.
And what you have is a very busy.
Sorry.
If he's to be expelled from the party, expel him from the party.
Yeah.
That is it.
No, girl, no corner.
That is it.
No, girl, no corner with the thing, you know. If I expel on business at home. It's a mercy. Right now in Jamaica, we say, when I say people, you know.
The majority of persons on social
fatal shooting numbers involved.
The government side. We are.
Alright, so we can just start him argument now. On the computer, come on. No one get pulled up on the computer. Now, hold on. I say, alright. Full of time, man. People from home, and so. Alright. I'm supposed to ask him on the computer in any second, I know. Yes. People, when I hear me, my check. If you don't hear me, put a one in the chat. Or the vocal sound. How it sound. Tell me how it's sounding. I'm not talking about Uno, you know. Right, I say Uno. Me a point on no. I'm not talking about Uno. You see, can go up on the TikTok now.
People in the next 2 weeks as food is going to raise because of the war.
When I hear my people, all this. You see that, yeah. Turn on this. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, just I'm gonna check on my computer because I don't know for that time so you can hear me. I'm gonna move on, but since as everybody is shy, let me go over here so and try to find out for myself before I continue. Everybody asleep. That's how I go. Sorry. There are some things that I have to deal with tonight. No look control. Alright. See how which one of them. That one right here. Alright, so skip this, let me see it's there. Yes, man. Awesomeness. That means you wanna see me. I wanna hear me too. Yes, man. Awesomeness. That means you wanna. Yeah, man. You wanna see me and hear me too, and it sound good. It sound clean. Why go on nuts? Me not talk about you, yeah, someone. It's not two live stream I run one time. I'm on OBS and I'm on my computer. I'm on your phone too. On BOLO V&R. So I run it because I have a record something. You see it? Yeah. Sure. Alright, so my live on TikTok now. Alright, let's go. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, please remember to hit the like button. Yes, just smash the like button for me, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this because it's a serious conversation. Captured on PDT. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. Ishmael, big up yourself, whole team. Check this out, Jamaica. Hear the conversation.
Clean house over here. Clean house over there too. Clean house over there too. 9-day wonder business. All of a sudden, Rosalie Hamilton thing just dead now. Business as usual. There is an issue, Jamaica. I wanted to touch it too because it is connected. It is connected. It is connected. I'm going to show you how it connected. Over the past weekend, I want you to understand the police has done damage. The police has done damage to people. Listen to this.
The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has confirmed the killing of 12 civilians at the hands of the security forces in the last 6 days. The Easter period has been particularly bloody, accounting for 10 of the deaths. Details in this report from Kirk Wright.
Not one or two, but 3 triple fatal shooting incidents involving the police in 3 days in St. Catherine and Westmoreland. Add 3 other shooting incidents, and what you have is a very busy and bloody start to April for the police and INDECOM investigators. The INDECOM Commissioner, Hugh Faulkner, is worried.
As with any single fatal shooting incident, INDECOM views with concern the fatal shooting numbers involving the security forces over the past week. At Monday, April 6, 2026, 12 persons have been shot and killed for the current month so far in incidents involving the law enforcement officers.
The Easter period has been particularly bloody. In the most recent incident on Easter Sunday, 2 brothers were among 3 men killed in Marchpenn, Spanish Town in a reported confrontation with the police. The bloody Easter period started on Good Friday with 3 men being killed in a confrontation with the police in Sheffield, Westmoreland. 3 stolen goats in the car with the alleged gunmen at the time were also killed in the hail of bullets. Those incidents sandwiched another triple shooting in Browns Hall district in St. Catherine and the killing of a reputed gang leader along Lincoln Alley, Kingston 13, both on Saturday. The shootings continue. What's been a bloody start to 2026 involving the security forces.
Since January 1, 2026, a total of 88 civilians have met their demise in reported confrontation with the security forces. 3 incidents of triple fatal shootings over the past 96 hours are being investigated by INDECOM operational teams, including investigators and forensic personnel.
Mr. Faulkner has also confirmed the probe is ongoing in the case involving a police officer and an elderly man in Tall Spanish Town. A video of the incident has gone viral and shows the policeman repeatedly hitting the 82-year-old man.
The Commission is also investigating a case of alleged assault occasioning actual bodily harm involving the security forces and a senior citizen. INDECOM investigations are pursued to conclusion, notwithstanding any action taken by law enforcement. Between January 1, 2024 and December 31, 2025, of the 57 cases of law enforcement personnel ruled for charge, 9 cases have been for assault occasioning bodily harm.
The 88 civilians shot and killed so far in 2026 by the security forces is one higher than the 87 persons shot and killed at the same stage in 2025. Kirk Wright.
At this one, if you talk about 88 people from January to now. 88 people. And the myriad of others that we don't know about. But we're parading about crime numbers. But we're parading about Jack Den. But we're parading about the People's National Party. When an 88-year-old man can get boxed up by a little young police. An 80-year-old man can get boxed up. The man shot him some boxing, man. Elder, that is your payday. ISAT is available. I promise you. Give him a call. And I've seen many of them. It is as if they would have gotten a mandate to just violate people's rights. Michelle, talk to me.
Ishmael, I spoke about that elderly gentleman on Saturday. There's also another video that's been circulating on social media. I don't know if you guys have seen it, where there's like 4 or 5 policemen. There was a man on the ground, face down. One of the policemen had his foot in the man's neck while the man was on the ground. While the man was on the ground with the police officer with his foot in his neck, another one was trying to handcuff his hand behind him, right? What is happening with the police force in Jamaica is it's beginning to resemble how Israeli forces deal with certain citizens.
Yeah, Jamaica, we have to pay attention to that lady, Sarah. That is key. What was the agreement between Israel and Jamaica? What was this meeting? We need to know. Can we trace back these types of assassination of the Jamaican citizens post that meeting? I'm just asking. Is it a situation where after that meeting we just started to see this? Somebody needs to go back and check. Because I'm young, so may I ask the question. I'm just asking. But what you said there, I think we need to look into it. What you guys think? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's continue.
And Jamaicans need to wake up and understand what they are seeing and what they are hearing. And all this Dennis Garden, what they're talking about, I'm not saying that we're not supposed to speak about it, but this issue with how the police is treating the citizens in Jamaica. I'm not saying that if persons have committed certain crimes, they're not supposed to be apprehended and taken in by the law. But this has gone above and beyond what is justice where the police force is concerned, because the police force is there to serve and protect. When a police officer can have I don't know if the man was guilty or something or not, that's not the issue. But when you're going to have the man on the ground, face down, and you as a police officer stand up with your foot on the man's neck, and the people that were there shouting and telling him to take his foot off the man's neck. At certain times he pointed the guns, it's gun at them. And there's a hypocrisy among too many of us Jamaicans, because if that incident and the incident with the elderly gentleman had happened in America, where a white police had done it to a black person, the majority of persons on social media will be talking about racism, right? But when it is happening to our own black brothers and sisters, it's like it's nothing. I see people get up and them gather a police station to welcome home a criminal, them gather at the airport to welcome home Bujo and all these things. But when Jamaicans must come together as a unit, as one, to speak up against these things, they are silent.
Hey, man, I tell you something. That lady beat the drum, you know. Yeah, man, that lady beat the drum, man. She beat the drum at truth. She not tell no lies. Why are we so desensitized when our people face the same kind of police brutality that some citizens in America that are of our complexion face? But we, on the international platform, them, and we are advocate on behalf of their human rights, but not our own. In Maria, in Janet. Oh, you want to know? Alright, I'm soon tell you, don't worry a sec. Let's continue.
I agree.
Are silent. How do you stand? Is that police? Is that where is nationwide and all of these people who are on the backs of the PMP to come out and begin to question the police commissioner, to question the minister of national security and all these people who are there to make sure that civilians and even if somebody is guilty, that they are not treated like animals. How do you that video I saw with the police officer and the 80-year-old man, tears came to my eyes when I saw that one with the police officer, because a peer bad man thing I go on now, you know.
Yes.
Because it's like these set of reprobates. When you hear how they speak to the citizens, when you hear how they address the people, it needs to stop. And these are the things that Jamaicans must get up and start talking about. How do you, as somebody who is supposed to protect and serve, the man on the ground never have a gun. He was no threat to the police. And you stand up in your police shoes with the man knock. And nationwide not talk about it. None of these people not speaking about all the GLP, YO, or whatever the hell them call themselves. Who are blind to all of these things? Huh? And to honest as prime minister.
When they a long time I not see. When they?
At this you take at them things that is really undercover people coming out of the country for train the Jamaican police force and the Jamaican the soldier them in the country for brutalize the people them.
Yo, me say, I don't know who this lady is, but I promise you, me love her. I love her. Yo, the spirit, me can't hear the passion in her lady voice. Tiny, big up. Me can't hear the passion in her lady voice. Sylvanev, you put out the number, bro. Sylvanev, put out the number to Mariana. What do you do, sir? You not hear me say? Or you not hear me? What go on? But, yeah, man, she a beat the Jama truth, man. Jamaica, we have to stand up for each other, you know. I'm tired of telling us that it's not because these things are happening to me or my family, you know. Why I come on here so and I talk about it, you know. But you see injustice to anybody as among the world, you know, or even with brothers and sisters then right here. So Jamaica are just injustice. And we have to call a spade because the truth have to rise above it all. Thank you so much, Sylvanev. Maria, I got that. See the number there right there, so. Yeah, man. See my number there, Maria. That is it. Let's continue.
And only 2x4 object illiterate idiots will sit down on social media and sit down on the news media talk about PMP this and PMP that. How the backside are not addressing these issues? Yeah. 88 persons murdered. by the police force since 2026, and it's PM a Mark Golden name them a sing pan. That is the hypocrisy that is facing Jamaica. And until Jamaicans begin to stand up, because when the police them a do them things, them now ask if you're PMP or you're JLP. They don't care.
Amen.
Because them have them gun and them have them uniform. So therefore, when I hear how that police officer was dealing with the old man, or when the old man get up and go into the shop, and that little dirty boy, the way I deal with the old man, the one with him foot on the boy neck, suppose you hear him a deal with the people, the man a deal with the man who for neck him up, and the man down on him face, and you have your foot on the man.
Yeah.
When the people them retaliate and attack now, one of the police officers go say to him, say, all right, you can't take off your foot now. And all of those police, none of them, they're still working today. Where's RGR and CVM and all of Uno? Where's Dean Jackson Miller and all of Uno for come address these things? But
so hold on, somebody just said to me a while ago, this lady was a JLP one time. You know, she always calling and I drop some history on them. Hey, me telling you, you see, it's the same JLP people that are the biggest fire upon Andrew, when you think about it, because them did then I belly a beast and they eye wide open, you understand what I say? And then realize, oh my God, Shelby, big up, good night, how you doing? We have Shelby in our place, but and Antonio and MAGNITSKY, me I say, bro, sis, me I say, no man, this a man here, can't as bad as people say him is. That was what I was saying at first, when me just come on the scene, Me I listen to people about me, I say, no man, the Prime Minister can't so bad, man. But you know what convinced me, you know when me hear the man of God tell him story, Pastor Peter Chambers, me say, wow, Andrew Wallace is dire. And even then, me I say, alright, one man can't so wicked. One man can't so wicked, brother. You feel me I deal with because me no know. In my life, me never really experience or see nobody so wicked. Close up. As Andrew is. If man lock down the church and even the order when them put out and a lack of pastor because they preach when C19 are going and them something there. Me I say, but this man here really not fear God. Tristia, what's up? You understand me, David? I said, no, man, but this man not fear God. Me couldn't be a prime minister in a lockdown church, Because my mother grew me up upon that. And the word, you see me, I say, and my father, come see that. I will go to church and everything. Feel me, David? Yes, so me couldn't be a leader. I said, all right, C19, me a lockdown church. No, sir. Judith, big up. It couldn't work. Me sorry. I'm not sorry neither. Me not do that. Me afraid say, yeah man, I go Tristia, big up. Me afraid say, yeah man, thank you so much, Sylvan. Me afraid say, God would have strike me down, would have like me, if me did ever decide say, boy, me really, what's up, Lorna? Yeah, you know, would I really fear say God would have strike me down if me really do that. If you say, yo, man, me a lack of pastor when them a preach a word and I go in at the church and I gather and I pray to God. You mad? Me no want no curse follow my family. Listen to me. I'll have next generation curse a follow. I didn't think them grow up on me. Oh, you're mad. You have to leave the church, brother. Don't ramp with God church. Can't tell you that right now. Don't do that. You know how certain things go on, because anything you do in here, see, you have to repent for it, before things clear up, Understand? Yeah. God is a forgiving God, but at the same time, why hit against the prick when you done the no say? That's something you know for ramp with. You don't want to take no chance, man. You might not get no mercy, man. Let's continue. You're mad.
PMP, but the whole of Unis are said that hypocrite. Continue, Ishmael.
Respect, Michelle, respect. Listen, man. Listen, no. That's why I tell you, this platform speaks truth to power all the time. All the time. Because these indiscretions will not stop against us. These malfeasance will not stop against us unless we do something about it. Hi, good evening.
Ishmael, let me turn this down. Good night, Ishmael. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah, go on, good papa.
Thank you.
Keep holding the fort, okay? Now, Ishmael, when I see all of this happening in our country and Jamaica is so silent, I am troubled in myself.
Yeah.
How can something like this be happening and Jamaica people just quiet? It's just too much. It's going on and more is adding on. And they keep silent, doing nothing. You know when they're going to be concerned, Ishmael?
When it reached them doorstep.
When it reached them doorstep. Because many of the atrocities that happened there to some people, they never know it would have happened to them. So people, what are you waiting on? Oh, come on. How can you sit and in Jamaica and see a policeman harassing and beating up a senior citizen like that? He has done nothing to deserve that. Not absolutely nothing. He has a right to the answer to the question. They were giving him messages, and he has a right to respond. That's his democratic right.
Yeah.
And you, one of the box with the man, the police boy, give the man in a man. If the man go here to the side and he is there, you know. How can something like that happen? Not at all. You hear this prime minister come out and condemn. Who's the situation? I was saying to myself as I heard you talk about it. If this is how everything just come up and it just die.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I
Thank
know.
you so much. Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Well, and I stay long, Ishmael, and I stay long.
Yeah, man.
I know with Rosie, it is dark truth the woman is talking. You know what them do? And negotiate, the lawyer them go negotiate then now, you know. Negotiate to keep things quiet. Andrew Honest will never ever come out. All we are calling him now go come out for come address the issue. Because he knows it's true. Lastly, Mr. Gardner stepped down. What about Andrew Honest? What about Christopher Tufton? What about Darrell Vaz and the others? They must step down. People, we are going to keep, we don't care what the JLP wants to say. We are going to hammer them. They're in trouble, you know. Them in a dirty water, you know. Ishmael.
Yeah.
They don't know how to come out, you know. And we not stop hammer them. We're going to be on them until we see it begins just with one and it continues and we'll all come together. We're going to hammer them. Those three and more must step down. And again, people do not remember the critical issues of our country. We want the reports. We want them because criminal right now is in parliament that not to be in there. We want illicit people. We want the crowd. We want all of them. Everything matters right now. It's all corruption. All right, Marlon Morgan, if you see yourself, stop calling Makaji clean name in your dirty mouth. Go about your business. Thank you, Ishmael.
Thanks so much.
Why, I would be remiss if I didn't highlight those two ladies. Desine, good night. I'm telling you. Bless up yourself, Desine. You know? Good to see you back. Alright? Manners and respect. See? Because the truth is just the truth, man. You know, maybe I'm asking too much of the Jamaica Labour Party and their you know, their representatives on every level. But can you guys really be fair and really be balanced? And if you're standing on something, stand on it. If you're standing on integrity, man, and you're standing on accountability, and you're saying, listen, the Jamaican people genuinely needs the best from the politician them. Them need to be honest and transparent about everything. And then the way how the police force is being operated right now. You hear Andrew Jones talk about eliminating criminals. This is a dangerous rhetoric. You understand? Right? Imagine if all the gangs that are in Jamaica got up one day and said, you know what? Let us come together and eliminate the police force. Anarchy. Let us come together and eliminate innocent citizens in Jamaica. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Jamaica? That would not end well, none at all. We need to reform these young men and women. And there's a lot of women that are a part of gangs. You'd be surprised. Right? For those who are out there. You'd be surprised how many young women and women overall are part of big criminal schemes in Jamaica. So the approach cannot be that the police them are go on a unaliving campaign. It cannot be that them are box down elder people. Me have one mother, I have one father. You feel me I deal with? Imagine a police now decide say, yo, him feel like say him have so much power he can put him on for my father and put him on for my mother. No, you're out of order, man. You're out of order. You understand? And before you even try that, my pray say God, drop off your hand them off of your body. Before you even think that, we just pray say God, drop off your hand them off of your body. Yeah. Because of that if happen to you, God for just take away your limb them so you can't put harm to nobody. You don't have no manners, man. Oh, where has Jamaica gone to, man? Where it's so easy for a man to raise the honor of our elder. One time people have a fear of God in them in Jamaica. You wouldn't even look upon an elder and talk to an elder too tough. Too hard. Nobody even raise a voice. All when I know your family. Where Jamaica gone to? How did we get here? I wouldn't hear a peep from the Prime Minister. When I hear him come say nothing. When I hear him say, yo, you know, so we condemn these things. I want to sit on the video, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And this don't represent what we want and the type of approach that police is supposed to take in the streets, and this is illegal. Whatever. Come out and make a statement. The man down business, Jamaica. The theme is like him. When Andrew was come talk about crime, it's like he send one signal to the police them say, yo, you know say a time for go to work. What day the man come up and observe and talk about eliminate. And see man them there box down people and eliminate people. He come like a buzzword, he come like he send them one signal. Like a villain. You know, a bird call. When you start analyze the citizens them, when I go back on the quarter, when him say eliminate, he come like, you know? Well, I don't know. Anyway, people wanna go follow you know, PD TV, right? You know what I mean? Make sure someone go follow the platform. Say man say, yeah, no look a joke, do the right thing. Zine. And make sure someone follow my platforms as well. BOLO V&R, BOLO V&R 2.0, and BOLO V&R Clips. I understand. Do the right thing. Don't fumble them. You see them flap me in Jamaica? You only say man flap. After my day, I tell you to follow all of my platforms. I mean, I look for the picture with my platform and I see them. Follow me all of my platforms. Yeah, follow them. That are the old clip one. Please subscribe. Alright? I don't know what is actually happening. But tell me what you think in the comment section. Okay? God bless you. Wow. There we go. That one I have to go and use for the main. Same? That is it. Alright, so I want to move to Dennis Garden now because when they make for bad go turn out to be good, you know. So man, when they make for bad go turn out to be good Jamaica. I want to share something with them that I was not aware of until recently in regards to the healthcare sector and, you know, just kidney disease and everything, right? Let me find this clip from Out of the Press. Yeah, oh, by the way, we have some exclusive audio. Mr. Garden was on Marvin Live earlier on TikTok. We're screen record some of that. So I go over some of that Jamaica Zine. Joy, what's up, Joy? I'll go over some of that. So let's stick around. We have some exclusive thing down. Oh. Alright. I believe it's this one. Elder. See that? This is the video. That's right. This is the video. When the man introduce the thing then. Right. When the man introduce the thing then. Right. Yes, sir. pause right there. Boom. That is it. That is it. That is it. Alright, my people, it's your brother BOLO V&R. We in the space again. Easy. Please remember to hit the like button, follow me on all platforms. Let me share my screen because it's imperative that I really talk about Mr. Dennis Gordon, because they have tried to make him out to be a villain. But ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Gordon is actually a hero. You understand? Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Dialyzers, which are
solution must blood clot it, you know,
and cleans it through some filters that we call dialyzers, which are very small straws, thousands of straws, and they come between those straws, mixed with the acid, the bicarb, and the water, where they clean the system. The blood comes back to the patient.
Consultant of Jacqueline Pharma and Medical Services, Sander Riches, says the procurement of the machines is geared towards making a positive impact in healthcare. The intent is to make treatment more affordable.
All this, what we're doing, is going to make a huge difference in healthcare in Jamaica. It's going to help patients dialyze better, more comfortable, and we're looking to do it at a better cost, make it affordable for the people in Jamaica.
Chairman of Jacqueline Group of Companies, Dennis Gordon, shares similar sentiments.
We believe this facility, as it was designed at the outset, is to allow the ordinary Jamaicans to get quality care at affordable price. And we're not going to back off from that. We're not the rapacious bunch. We will make money, but it's really about healthcare.
He adds that the company is devoted to a promise it made.
As we have said earlier, that the cost point is the biggest challenge for most Jamaicans. That's right. And we are given a commitment that we will go 50% of market, and we're sticking to that commitment.
Amid numerous requests by eager patients, the facility is in the process of completing the necessary regulations as it awaits a team of Cuban nephrologists set to arrive at the end of June, so operation can begin in July.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on OneSpotMedia.com.
Over 100,000 Jamaicans are living with end-stage renal failure. But the journey to treatment is not only painful, but it's costly, especially if you're unable to wait for someone to die to get there. Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on OneSpotMedia.com.
Over 100,000 Jamaicans are living with end-stage renal failure. But the journey to treatment is not only painful, but it's costly, especially if you're unable to wait for someone to die to get dialysis at a public healthcare facility.
This evening, the stories of persons living with the condition, and over the next 2 days, we'll explore what's behind the increase in kidney disease in Jamaica and possible solutions.
Now here's Shamela Pullen with part 1 of our In Focus report, Dialysis Crisis.
Hospital. Cyclical Friday morning outside the renal unit at the Kingston Public Hospital. 16 persons with end-stage renal failure are waiting for dialysis treatment. The number pales in comparison with the 40,000 Jamaicans living with chronic stage 5 kidney disease. According to statistics, another 80,000 have been diagnosed with chronic stage 4 kidney disease. At KPH, they arrive on crutches, wheelchairs, and in one case, a patient was brought into the room on a stretcher with bags packed for the long day ahead. Sherlock King was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure when he was 15 years old.
In 1995, I was preparing to go to school a regular Monday morning, and I fainted. After that, they would take me to the doctor, and after some blood tests, they found out that I have end-stage renal failure.
And there are many others like him.
I wake up one morning and say, oh, my angles were swollen. I did some tests. They told me that there's an infection in my kidneys.
I think it was gas. So when I go to the doctor, they do
said me go do an ultrasound, and when me do the ultrasound, they said my kidney them falter.
Most of these patients are either diabetic or hypertensive or have both. For them, the treatment is a matter of life and death.
Right now I was thinking that me soon dead.
I know people who have kidney problem after me and I'm not here them die.
The harsh reality, though, is there are more patients than dialysis machines in the public health sector. At the Cornwall Regional Hospital, 19 of the 21 machines are functioning. At the Spanish Town, there are 18. And at the Kingston Public Hospital, 16. The renal unit at the Kingston Public Hospital is currently treating approximately 90 patients. However, this is less than 10% of the persons who are on the waiting list for dialysis. In fact, at KPH alone, there are approximately 500 people on that waiting list.
I was on the waiting list about 10-15 years. I used to come once a week and then...
Jamaica. The lady said she's on the waiting list for 10-15 years. I can't bother. I just want to know if you understand the levels, how deep this thing go. I want to understand what Mr. Dennis Garden Company was doing for people when they buy the dialysis machine then, because there's a serious gap in the market in terms of care, affordability, and access. You understand what I deal with? Waiting list for how much years? Sure.
Somebody die and me get the next part, me get the 2 day.
I would say the same 9 years.
While some wait to get on the list, they are forced to seek private care, which is costly.
$20,000 for the 2 days. Was doing it the same Tuesday and Friday, and every month you have to pay at least $100,000.
It's not that I couldn't work, but when you went for the interviews, once you say you're on dialysis, then they say you're not an asset, you're a liability.
Some of the time when we feel like we're going cheap at the end, wait until after that in the hospital.
In part 2, what's behind the increase in kidney disease among Jamaicans? Medical doctors weigh in. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. One of Jamaica's leading nephrologists is advocating for more resources to be allocated to treat kidney disease as experts grapple to provide care for the sick. Jamila Maitland explains.
Imagine being diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. Then imagine having to go to the hospital 3 times per week for treatment for years. That's the reality of thousands of Jamaicans. According to Professor Everard Barton, dialysis has seemingly become the long-term treatment therapy for people with kidney disease in Jamaica.
We need to have a more active kidney transplant program.
Professor Barton, who was speaking at the Jamaica Medical Foundation annual general meeting on Tuesday, says he has patients with kidney disease for more than 3 decades. While it's no death sentence, Professor Barton says treatment is a life sentence, which can be exhausting and expensive. He says the ultimate goal should be kidney transplantation.
I know a young man who was 33 on Valentine's Day, and he had been on dialysis for 16 years. Also, I know a woman who has been on dialysis now 36 years.
The issue is that Jamaica does not have a kidney bank or an active donor transplant program. Professor Barton admits that treatment for kidney disease has come a far way since the 1990s. Back then, there were only 2 dialysis units.
We have at the moment about 9 nephrologists in Jamaica, 22 dialysis units.
For those suffering with the disease, however, that progress is not enough. Data shows that 1 in every 7 Jamaican may suffer from kidney disease. And with fewer than 2 dozen dialysis machines in the public health sector, Professor Barton says prevention is the ultimate way to go.
Based on data from the Caribbean Renal Registry, the pattern throughout the Caribbean is the same in terms of cause of kidney disease: hypertension, and diabetes lead the fray.
The recent tax on sugary beverages could be helpful, but for those who've already been diagnosed,
In order to slow down,
You know what, that part they really bother me, you know. Yo, mainstream media only need to stop push the government narrative them and act as if we don't have some common sense. And we can analyze things for ourselves as media personnel. We have already established that the sugar tax now stop nothing. People them can't afford the good stuff there, brother. And we see price of water, and that's the truth. Yeah? Stop it. Let's continue.
that boil down, the blood pressure must be well controlled. The blood sugar must be well controlled. The cholesterol must be well controlled. Body mass index must be well controlled. And we give them the parameters.
Jamila.
Good afternoon, I'm Vashon Brown with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Reactions now to the changes to the cockpit country boundaries and government's decision to abandon the Dry Harbour mining project. Mining Minister Robert Montague made the announcement in his sectoral presentation in the Lower House last evening. However,
on health, lament
expanded treatment options to save more lives. He was making his sectoral presentation to Parliament last evening.
The opposition spokesman on health lamented the lengthy wait time for persons requiring dialysis treatment at public health facilities. He reasoned that in the case of the Kingston Public Hospital, which sees some 2,000 renal dialysis patients per year, persons have to wait for as much as 4 years to be added to the list for treatment.
Many have died during this period, waiting for acceptance into the program. At the University Hospital of the West Indies, it is around 6,000 patients per year, with another 1,000 waiting to be admitted in the program, and their wait time is around 2 years. It is hard to say, Madam Speaker, but it needs to be said. But someone has to die for a space to be created.
He says treatment facilities at the Cornwall Regional and Mandeville hospitals are also overwhelmed.
The minister in his presentation spoke to the expansion of Spanish Town Hospital and the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, which is commendable, but made no mention of any renal dialysis facility at either of those two. Madam Speaker, this is a serious oversight and needs immediate correction.
Dr. Guy further pointed to the high cost of treatment at private facilities.
What will happen to the thousands who cannot afford the $15,000 per session in the private sector? And that has to be performed twice weekly. Consider this, Madam Speaker. It will cost each patient about $120,000 per month. How many persons over 60 years and living on a pension can afford it?
It's why he's recommending the government improve and expand the dialysis treatment at public health facilities. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Minister without portfolio.
So my people, want to see the seriousness where access is concerned. See, now we go to brother Will Rattigan talking about the Jackden situation. I know that one of the professors, they want to listen to the argument. People not hear me?
Let me ask Brother Rattigan his take on the matter. Brother Rattigan.
Yeah. The Dennis Jackden situation, it's quite telling that Dennis decided to recuse himself or take himself from the proceedings with the PAC because they were looking into his matter. But there's so much to unpack with that situation because we finally learned last week a bit names of the other 3 companies. And we haven't heard anything about them. We didn't hear about them before, and we heard the names, but we haven't heard anything since. We heard about Jackden. Now, folks, what's interesting about Jackden is this. And again, I have my pet peeve about how you conduct investigations. And, you know, I'm not the Auditor General, but here's what happened. the former CEO indicated that in a letter regarding the Jack Den's importation of the dialysis machines and furniture. He said that the goods were imported solely for UA. That is what the former CEO said in a letter. He said, all the stuff you say coming in for Jack Den, they're our stuff. They're coming in. We're going to be using them. Then the current CEO, when they say the current CEO, I'm not sure if they're talking about the gentleman who testified last week or his predecessor. But no, that person said that we never facilitated the import at all. So you have two distinctly different versions of what happened. The sad part is Jack Den's executive, the board and the chairman and the owner, nobody was interviewed based on what my reading of the report. So it's kind of hard then to say, well, they broke any laws when you have one CEO saying, hey, it came in for our usage, and another one saying, no, no, we had nothing to do with it. What we do know is that the goods were imported by UA. We have the receipts for that.
Jamaica, do you understand what Mr. Rattigan is saying? And this is a new development. I didn't even know this. I just heard him say a couple of things about Jack Den and how the situation happened. But that part, I never knew that two CEOs said two different things about the stuff them that they cleared. And then the Auditor General did not interview anybody from Jack Den or even Mr. Gordon to get their side of the story, and then to say that a law was broken when there's an inconsistency between the two CEOs. How do we look at the facts and go, yeah man, Jack Den, Mr. Gordon for resign and all of these things? We don't hear nothing about the other company them now. So you see the next PAC meeting Tuesday coming, 1 week from now or 6 days from now. Yeah man, it go active man. Make sure someone check it on the platform. I say yeah, it's gonna be active. Let's continue.
So somebody is lying and they didn't, and because you only heard like one side of the story, one side meaning the UA side, and even that we had contradictions. They didn't hear from Jack Den's side. No, I heard from Jack Den's side. And it just shows you how how stupid these people are. And I said, people, I'm talking about the UA management, the CEO and the others. Because one of the things they said last week was that Jack Den had to pay 10 million, and Jack Den was looking, and there's a penalty that will be assessed, and the penalty could go as high as 30 million. And if you watch the program last week, folks, you saw where I put up the receipt. Jack Den paid the 10 million, and Jack Den's management told me, them said, we don't have no more money to pay the customs. It's finished. It's 10 million. We paid the 10 million. They had paid $1 million before. But what the CEO said is that no, they're going to pay the 10, and after they pay the 10, they're going to get assessed a penalty. Jack Den said, we don't have no penalty. We don't know what this man to talk about.
No, this is super interesting, Jamaica. Here comes another bit of information that yo, boy, hey, everywhere you turn. What is actually going on? Come like say somebody, I try if I really, you know, put all of the folk, even within the UHWI, based off of these multiple reports of accounts. It come like somebody really I try to throw Jack Den on at the bus. But thank God, them have them paperwork for proof what them I say. So thank you so much, Marcia. So it's gonna be properly ventilated. Wow.
We have no clue what this man is talking about. So, you know, when I read the report and I talked to Jack Den and I looked at the stuff that Jack Den did, I mean, what Dennis did by saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to recuse myself from the committee that's looking into this matter. That was the right thing to do. And think about it. Think about it. We're here applauding him and saying that, you know, wow, we did the right thing. And think about what that means. Because this is something that we shouldn't be applauding him up for. But you know why we have to applaud him? Because look on the other side, so many.
Bingo, Mr. Rattigan. The JLP is so terrible when it comes on to accountability, transparency, and good governance. When a PMP person do what is supposed to be the norm, like remove themselves from the situation and allow for the investigation to go on, and then when they are clear, they can come back in at them full scope of operation, and if not, punishment, but by law and by the party. The other side is so terrible, Jamaica. That is like the man do something great when it's supposed to be something normal. Talk up the things that Mr. Willie Rattigan.
We're here applauding him and saying that, you know, wow, we did the right thing. And think about what that means. Because this is something that we shouldn't be applauding him up for. But you know why we have to applaud him? Because look on the other side, so many things go wrong, and not one time. They have to look at the convicted criminal, Dalrymple. They had to actually force her to step aside. Because initially she didn't. Initially, it looked to me as if she didn't want to step aside. But what Dennis did is something that should be expected of every single politician. That when your name is called in a situation, whether you did it or not, you recuse yourself and let the investigation take its course. And then once it's been resolved, you come back or you stay away. So this Jacqueline thing here, for me, it's a no-brainer. The money, and then also remember now, if you're going to lock up Dennis, then you have some people that you will lock up too. Because,
but Rafi, hold on, as we talk about lock up Dennis, what would the charge be?
Well, based on what the Auditor General is saying, she's saying that there was some shenanigans with how the whole thing was structured, where they came in, they didn't pay the 10 million duty, and they paid it later, and that in and of itself, using at the very least, with you doing it, that was a violation of law. But they would have to charge, if they're going to charge anybody, they have to charge you, the people that in charge, and if they're going to charge Dennis as a co-conspirator, saying then, well, he was involved with that. Well, the only way you can know that, you have to talk to the people in my and so,
exactly.
Yeah, was he involved, and what was the nature of the agreement that you had? By the way, people, they asked a question last week. They asked, what was the nature of the agreement between Jack Den and UA, and did anybody benefit? The people benefit from the importation of the dialysis machines. Two things. One is, a lot of the politicians, people, especially I'm talking to people in Jamaica right now, they're shortchanging you. They come to these meetings and they're unprepared. They're not prepared. Because some of the questions I heard them ask, if they had just read the report, they would have, the answers are right there. The answers are right there. But with Jack Den, what Jack Den did that nobody's talking about is this. Going back to when they asked him, did Jack Den have a relation? Did Jack Den help anybody? Did any Jamaican citizen benefit from the Jack Den with the importation of the machines? Here's something that didn't come out in the report, and that's why I'm saying to you that it's unfortunate that sometimes when we do these reports, they look on only one side.
Yes.
Because here's let me tell you another deal. What happened was simply this. The university had 60% of the dialysis machines that they had wasn't working. Inoperable. 60%. And if you wanted to get dialysis treatment, you're talking about months. Months. So what the deal that they had was, okay, you bring it in, and you charge the people less than what they're paying at UA. They didn't mention that. They didn't mention that. That was part of the deal. That you bring it in, and when you bring it in, because we can't deal with all the patients, and we don't have the money for bringing all of these machines. So you bring in the machines, and what will happen is that, and in fact, when they asked the question, you know, people had gone from UA to Jackden. People went from UA to Jackden.
So hold on, Ratty. So based on that contractual agreement, that would automatically give him some ease with the tax exemption. That is where you're going.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So what happened is that I asked the question on Saturday. I said to Mr. Hassan or whatever his name is. I said to him, because he said nobody in UA, in management, nobody knew anything about any deals or anything that Jackden did to help the people, something to that effect. And I said, listen, I said, what you must do, ask them if at any point the University Hospital of the West Indies sent patients to Jackden using their vehicles, meaning the university vehicles. Ask them if they referred anybody to Jackden. Ask them how much them charge for dialysis treatment at the University Hospital of the West Indies, and then ask them how much they charge at Jackden. I can tell you as I sit here that Jackden was charging thousands of dollars less than what they charge at University Hospital. And you could get treatment like right away. You didn't have to wait. At UA, you're going to wait months. These are some of the things that didn't come out in the report because the Auditor General didn't talk to Jackden.
So, you know, listen, big up to Mr. Dennis Garden. It's a serious crisis we have where kidney condition is concerned. And everything where Mr. Relatigan said, I want to facts. And unfortunately, you know, the Auditor General did not interview Jackden or Mr. Garden. Unfortunately. So now we can remove the idea that the Auditor General is a PMP. Yeah man, just all I elaborate them out the way always attack them nonsense there, because everybody will come out with the things them a PMP. Yeah, anytime they it's not that the JLP corrupt, no, it's that the PMP are pay people to make them look corrupt. So how comes the Auditor General forgot to say she for interview Jackden? I never seek, our team never seek for interview Jackden. That's a one good argument, you know, and I'm not saying that she's a JLP. Could be an oversight. Me just try to show them. You see me? So think about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Shout out to Mystic Sensation. Make sure so you guys actually go over there and subscribe to the platform, and also Mr. Willie Rattigan's platform as well. Alright, Reasoning with Rattigan on YouTube. Alright. Yeah man, so Mr. Gardner really and truly Jamaica. You know, the fact that he gets these things at such a cheaper cost for the people, and sometimes they don't have any money and them still get through Jamaica. Him not turning them back. So how can you violate and put on a man like that? It's not like him did buy the machine them and him sell them back after him get the tax exemption to UE. He never sell them back to UE and make a profit off of the machine them. You hear how much money these hey Juice, what's up? You hear how much money these things cost? Oh, that's not Juice Lips. What the hell? It's a total different person. But things are the lady Juice Lips. Yeah. God have mercy. Unless Juice Lips put up our husband picture of somebody. Anyway. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about that. Dennis Garden, hero. Big up yourself in general, no joke. No, like I said, guys, Mr. Garden, exclusive on Marvin's show. I'm gonna play some of it. Alright, I'm gonna get into some of it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go.
Reason for that particular question?
No.
The answer is
Press no. Shaka Flame.
So let me go a little bit further. The acronym JACDEN is my wife, Jacqueline, and myself, Dennis. So the Jack in that is Jacqueline and the Den is Dennis. So let's be clear. And there are only two directors of the company. And I own 95% of the shares. My wife owns 5% of the shares.
I'm glad you answered that question because
No, Jamaica, when I go hear some exclusive. Oh, that's the doctor. Yesterday was his birthday. Okay, bless up to the doctor. But guys, you're gonna hear some exclusive conversation that Marvin had with Mr. Gordon. Wanna hear that? Jack then is fully owned by him and his family. His wife have 5% and him have 95%. Yeah, them have board members. You know, some people are part of the board work with him. Yeah, man, let's continue.
Been burning with that to ask, are you the majority shareholder?
I am the majority shareholder. Yes.
Majority shareholder. So we got that clear. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So why are all these accusations? If you can come and tell Jamaica what really happened, I am proud of you. So why are these?
Again, is a political assassination. I call it modern day lynching because if you don't kill somebody, you can't uplift yourself.
You have to say unalive. You have to say unalive. Yeah. They would buy.
Okay. So I'm saying if you can't use your word to assassinate somebody, they call him out murderer. You don't believe you can exist, right? So you have to tear down someone to uplift yourself. I don't seek relevance. That has been good to me, right? I am comfortable, so I don't have to go in pursuit of seeking relevance. As I said, my mission is to help, and that is what it will be, and nobody's going to end that. Let me go further.
Okay.
3 months ago. No, let me back up. During my campaign, I said, I want to invest in some ambulances to send into the communities for shut-ins who don't have the wherewithal to go to a health center to get treatment, who badly need treatment, right? And all the non-communicable diseases to which they suffer. For 3 months, I purchased those ambulances out of China. They came to Jamaica. They were cleared. And they're sitting at my office because no inspection has been done, so I can get the accreditation to have them licensed and insured. They can't go into the field.
Hold on, sir. How long you have these ambulances there?
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah,
and no inspection. No inspection can get me done.
No inspection, no. And these are the ambulances that would have gone on a Saturday and a Sunday in the communities by my medical staff to care for those who don't have access to the care.
Free service.
Free service, not $1. Free service.
Jamaica, Jamaica, do I hear this? Jamaica, are you hearing this? This is a member of parliament, and I don't care if he was from the Jamaica Labour Party or the People's National Party, but this gentleman has gone out of his way. This is not just one instance. 3 ambulances, 3, 1, 2, 3, for shut-ins and people, for elderly and people who need little service. And he was planning to put it every Sunday and every Saturday.
And Sunday. Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays to go around in his constituency. And
no, not just my constituency. I have said to my colleagues, just book it and it will be there.
My God. My God.
So let me go on, because I feel quite...
Jamaica, when you see Dennis gone now a year, but just hear the man. The man buy 3 ambulance. I remember on that night, because I was following the politics, and I remember he was very passionate about that, about helping the elderly citizens. I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought it was more about his constituency. So maybe I missed that, but maybe it evolved in what he's saying. So he's saying that, you know, hey, Ivan, what's up? He's saying that once you need it wherever you are, as a shut-in, he would make that service available to the people. Come on, Jamaica. Heal the man. Yeah, man. Heal the man. How many of you need help with your parents, your grandmother, and them something there, and them who don't have the funds, how many of you out there, good night, Ivan, you know, how many of you out there is in that situation? And here's Mr. Garden saying, yo, listen, this is what I plan to do for the people, because I get it, I understand, you know, how hard it is. Meanwhile, the government has the police force executing and terminating people. You know, Dennis Garden is looking to keep them alive. You know, but this is the man they attack. Let's continue.
Emotional about it, because when you try to do good, nobody can see that, right? Everybody try to tear you down, persons who don't know you. All right. Whilst I was a councillor and Peter Phillips was the member of parliament, he's the gentleman I replaced.
Yes.
I don't know who can recall the headline that say councillor bought controversial property. I was at home 3:30 one morning and got a call that they were about to evict over 300 persons who were living on a property as squatters, and the people wanted the property. They want to sell the property, so they want to get them off. So they Dr. Phillips and myself went down the morning, way out of the morning, and the owners was on location. And I engaged them in discussion to say, would you sell me the property so I can preserve it for the people? And he said yes, because he wanted to remove them so that he could offer it for sale. And nobody would have purchased it because it was fully squatted. I purchased the property the next day for $24 million. And those people are still living on the property, unimpeded.
Yo, me done, you know? Like this is like Mr. Tenderism, when he pull out the something out of the bone out of the meat, and him just, come on, man, stop. This man is a hero, Jamaica. This man is a hero. It's the first time I'm hearing that story. I'm glad I was able to capture this. Marvin, you got a hell of an interview and a sit down with Mr. Dennis Garden. Wow. Wow, Jamaica. The man have a good heart, Jamaica. Man heart clean. The next day, oh, nobody never put this out by the media and champion the man for the great works. What him do? That's why I do it right now, no? Because it cannot be that we just come on here and beat the jumper negative way. You see, if Andrew wanna do some good, you see, if Andrew did build the 6-STEM school, them, oh God, it would have made so much good for Andrew legacy. It would have made so much good for Andrew legacy if him they build the STEM school them and then improve the education system. Because really and truly, you know, building a STEM school alone is not enough, you know. Because if you never come out of primary school and can't read and write, brother, how them are going to advance to that level there of education when it comes out to the technical aspect there, engineering and stuff like that. So the whole system of education need to have that you need to have that punch there. We need to retain with each of them, pay them good. That's something they say People's National Party plan, you know, man, was very comprehensive enough for nation building, you know, right? The manifesto with love, you know, made with love, you know. Why? I don't know, I'm not gonna stop talking about it, brother, because man, I tell you, say, it hurt me. It hurt me if you know, say Jamaican people don't know what is good. What good food for them, what good medicine for them. With the People's National Party, see, we have bitter medicine now and poisoning, man, them shoot down with throat. Big up the man, heal the man, Jamaica. I'm not playing no more that video there. I'm not playing no more that video there. Because I'm going to put it out. Let me go here, so.
At NTA, so they can graduate with certification. So they becomes employable.
Wow. I have been having classes, right? Teaching people the fundamentals of wealth creation, because creating wealth is not magic. It's about mindset, it's about knowledge, it's about action, and it's about discipline. Right? Yes, it requires capital. And in our society, the vulnerable don't have access to capital.
Yeah.
Right? And I am working with an organization to invest 30 million of my own money to help those small businesses who want to start something that they can sustain. But firstly, they must understand the rudiments of money. Because too often they come to you and say, MP or boss, I want to do a little business, right? And then when you give them an opportunity, they blow it. We put $7 million at JN small business, right? And give people start with $100,000 for a revolving scheme. Only one person pay back the first month. And so one of the things I decided to do was to teach them the rudiments of how you create wealth. Yours and the portion of it is to be reinvested.
Right.
So like I said, I come with.
Just a minute, guys. Oh, by the way,
So Jamaica, the man is teaching people wealth mindset. So not only is he a humanitarian, but he's also a teacher to empower the youths that them can empower themselves, and then them next people them can, with that type of knowledge, you know, so you have to pass it on. Yo, big up Mr. Dennis Garden, like, bro, whose man's is this? In a one good way, like, what? Listen, bro, this man is doing some things. This man is doing some things, bro, that needs to be applauded. Wow.
I think this is his first time on TikTok. Because today when I asked him if he had a TikTok, he said no. So the TikTok account that he's using is actually a mutual friend. Funny, I've never met the lady, but she has become a friend through social media. And she is actually also a neighbor to Mr. Gordon and a friend. And this is how Mr. Gordon actually is on my live tonight, because I spoke to him today, and he was very expressive, and I invited him on my platform to speak to the Jamaican people. Yeah. We're just waiting for him to get back. I'm assuming.
Yes. So we are back. Yes, we are back.
Good.
Yeah. So my suffering to your listening.
Hold on, let's hear Garden, because Jamaicans mix up. I don't want them see the lady who walk past my background. They say, "Are you woman?" That is
he's my neighbor and he's my friend's wife.
Because Jamaicans mix up.
I'm glad Sir Marvin said that, you know. Yeah, man, because I see some of my labor right there. I don't know them know for nasty people name with all type of false allegation. So if my wife know the lady I'm neighbor, got a real thing, I don't know them stay for true. Because if you not see video with me, I say I fear her phone, basically, because I fear her account, you know. And basically I use when we put out the video tomorrow, well later tomorrow, yeah, because I 11:54 now. When we put out the video tomorrow, when I go see the lady, because she fear adjust to something when it take a problem, and she come back and adjust the thing. But as soon as for them stay for true, their mind just in the gutter. And the man have it. You hear what the man say about him company, Jack then, him mother, him lady and female put together. Dennis, Jacqueline or Jackie. Jack then. You see how that go? She have 5%, him have 95%. Them are the only two with the red tie and company. See, let's continue.
No, it's alright. But I am not here to lay blame. I'm here to accept responsibility for my company's action and to remedy whatever breach or whatever mistake made. And like I said, I am not here to say what others have done and others have not done. I'm here to defend my strategy. But I will ask Jamaica one simple question. All of those persons who are throwing darts at me, have you ever stopped to look yourself in the mirror and ask the question, what have I done for my country lately? Have I advanced the fortunes of the most vulnerable? And if they can look themselves in the mirror and say yes, then more power to them. One of the things that I have also recommended, and I speak in the House on the 12th of May, and I'm going to say this. When you drive between 3 miles and 6 miles, Spanish Town Road, we export over 43 billion a year, right? And when you look on both sides of the road is abject poverty. And I'm saying, having done the study about how Harlem was transformed, Gary, Indiana was transformed, which was crime infested in the United States, by just giving an incentive for investment by those who make mega profits. To transform lives, to give people a different feeling. How are we going to change the culture? How are we going to curtail crime when rapacious businesses go into the communities and buy off the houses and convert them into offices and then force those persons to go and live on the banks? And then
hold on, the juicy lips, I did over the man. See in the comment section, big up juicy lips.
An informal settlement. Who is batting for them? Somebody has to bat for them. And I am going to be that guy that bats for them. And so I am going to be saying, as Bruce Golding did in 2008, is that 2% of the national budget should be set aside for members of parliament to improve the life of their constituents. Why should I go to parliament and become a beggar of a minister, and if you don't like you don't get a road? If they don't like you can't get a school fix. Put the money at the CDF and allow the CDF to manage it. So I can say, I have a road now that is in such poor condition that is a major thoroughfare that takes traffic off Maxfield Avenue onto Spanish Town Road, right, Delamere, and it is in total disrepair. Now, I have to go and beg a minister, and it depends on how he feels.
Yeah, so it's now 12. It's now 12. It's almost 12 a.m. in the morning. Jamaica, when you hear what the man suggests, I think that's a good suggestion. 2% of the economy, I said 2% of the budget allocated for members of parliament. Yeah, if you do some work in them, mandatory, that comes out automatic. Alright, so the CDF, it would still be, there would still be accountability. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Sexy kimono also.
Right, that he might say, all right, and it depends on how he feels. Right, that he might say, all right, never fix the road. It cannot be like that, because the people who vote for you expect you to represent them and change their lives. The Sandy Gully, which I have been advocating for to be repaired. The Sandy Gully is in a state of disrepair and it started to threaten people's life and property.
Right.
Those are the things that I want to bring to the table to transform life. I'm not into the negativity. I'm not into cuss nobody on the other side of the aisle. That's not me. If that's what it takes, I will leave. And let me say it again. If that's what it is, I will leave politics. Because, as I said, it is my sojourn to serve, not to extract. Not to extract. It's not arrogant, but the little stipend that I get from Parliament, which I give up 50% of it, can't help me to help others.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. What? So you telling me Not only is Marky G giving up some of his money, but Mr. Dennis Gordon is giving up 50%. Hey, yo, listen, man. All of the PMP people, I need to hear from them. Yeah, man, because I feel there's more of you that are giving up. Listen, I was saying last year that every single member of parliament should give up 30% of their money to help the victims them of Hurricane Melissa. I was saying that. They should have come together and say, yo, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to funnel 30% of the money for the next year or 2 years into helping the persons and victims, especially the most vulnerable in Westmoreland, St. James, St. Elizabeth, Hanover, East Portland, St. Anne, St. Mary, everywhere that was affected badly by Hurricane Melissa. I was advocating for that from last year on this platform. I was saying, yo, why nobody is suggesting this in the parliament if them really care about the people? Why the government of the day is not saying, yo, you know what? Make we say to PMP. You know how that would I give them some brownie points to say, yo, them really decide if it's like, yeah man, this bad. Like them have a heart to say they're not cold blooded and water run through them veins. Cold water. But demand them not like that. And then the money and the trillions of dollars that we actually get, it's like, where's the accountability? Like, all the money really spent. We not even see that Jamaica. No accountability. The Auditor General did her report about ADPEM and them not even have up-to-date records for certain things. Like how much money spent, how much money get, what in a storage. Peer problem. All of the gaps them still in a ADPEM even now. And Andrew wanna say him take ADPEM and put in a film office to fill the gaps. The gaps have not been filled, Jamaica. And this man giving up 50% of his money. No, come on, man. Shout out to Mr. Gordon, bro. Man, I wish I had my bells and whistles, the audios. They're not working right. You know what, too? Yo, listen, everybody on the live right now. I'm gonna come off. It's gonna be rolling like this for a second, but I soon come back. Give me a second. I soon come. Yeah, me people. Yeah, me people. Yeah, me people. Yeah, me people. See, you know, we're back in the man. Cause we can, you know. No, we have to give Mr. Dennis, we have to give Mr. Gardner a round of applause, Jamaica. You understand? People still on a chapaling, that are the problem. You know, my lady they come out. What's she name? The big labor lady there. Come out and about out Andrew. You never hear it. Sound you never hear it. I play it. I play it for now. What's she name? See, I'm going to look a piece. It's a little piece. Not going to know what it.
That's morning.
Going to look a
Kindly listen to the labor rights them down there in Westmoreland.
You see that, Andrew? May I try to show you, sir, Mr. Andrew, sir? May I tell you something, sir? Well, you don't understand. Because you can relate to where we are going through right now. I mean, I go ask if you could ever relate to nothing at all where we are going through. Because right now, as me check your makeup, you don't have a scar upon there. Andrew, you look like a man who never dropped from him band. You don't look like you ever run a race in your life and drop up yet. Mr. Andrew, sir, And last time now me I come to you, Mr. Prime Minister, sir. There is a constant reminder here in Westmoreland. It's a constant reminder, sir. Everywhere you go, it's blue tarpaulin, sir. Everywhere you go, it's roofless houses and blue tarpaulin. And let me tell you something, Mr. Andrew Holiness. We can't ever, in my sense, comprehend why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. You understand? We don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. What we do you in a life, every time your election come, people vote for you. And all you do, Mr. Holiness, is dish your shit. You know, some of their hope, you know, myself say, sir, you would have did prove me wrong. I was hoping that you would have proved me wrong, you know, sir. People always have a bunch of story talk about politicians, and I always want my own experience because people experience and my experience is two different experiences, Mr. Holiness. And I was hoping that you would have proved me wrong. You come to Westmoreland, you shake me hand, you promise me, say everything will go alright. Mr. Andrew Holiness, everything not alright, you know, sir. Everything is not okay, sir. You understand? There's a constant reminder of the disaster everywhere you go. It's like yesterday or 2 weeks ago, it's time passed because it's fresh still. No, we're not clean up nobody. Mr. Holiness, I'm not trying to make you look bad, you know, sir. Are you a self-destruct? Because let me tell you something, sir. You see, people come from overseas, come do more than what you do since it's time. You see your company me there, say you don't want to see people, them a line up and a beg and a haul and pull for food, Mr. Andrew. I mean, Mr. Andrew's Holiness, sir, I don't see you do nothing better. Everything that you comes with, everything that you come with chaos and it come with complication. Sir, everything where you come with no make no sense. I need the people them where clean the office. We need them for retire and give some new people space and time to clean the office and put some courage on the seat. So no not sit so comfortable. Because me feel like I not sit too comfortable now. Every time I go around that big table there, I no sit down on that chair there, I no make some stupid decision. It's a hole in it.
Jamaica, some of them labor right here, as long as the government treat them right, them no mind if them treat the comrade them wrong or other Jamaicans. So them stay quiet. But guess what? The fire reach everybody. So now them a ball out. But too late. It's gonna be the cry. We no done let through the blows and skirt wickedness in office for a third term. God alone can stop this. Tell you that. Enough time I say enough people don't like when I say it, but you know what I noticed, Jamaica? Take off my hat. You know what I notice? If you really have a conversation with people in the streets, you know, say people really now believe or fear God. Only you know that? Yeah, man. And them open with it. And you see, one of the things that me do well, I pat myself on the shoulder. I put up a mirror in front of you based off of your own words. Just, you know, if you say this, you say, okay, so what you mean is this. Because based off of what you say, this means that, your action mean this, so you really mean this. You understand? With the evidence of what you are saying out your own amount. It give you an opportunity to say, boy, yo, no, and that me mean. And then you can explain to me what you mean, on record. What you mean? You know, so me mean say this. Alright, so let me ask you some more questions then. Because this contradict that. You feel me? I say, I saw me got to work, Jamaica. So, the mirror I shoot, I hold it up. And the mirror I shoot sometimes you're uncomfortable because you see where you look on in the mirror I shoot, it look ugly to you. Be all of them God, yes. Because the Bible says, you know, in the last days men shall be worshippers of themselves. Lovers of themselves. So, something to that effect, right? I am seeing it more and more. Tonight we see it even more, I'm gonna believe. And if the bridging I watch right now, yo, me tell you this, when we not talk to you, me tell you this, so me talking this on the internet and not different. Because me don't tell you already how me look on that. Almost we can say to our one say, yo, brother, the whole way I have to go repent. And we're not going good. We're not going good. People literally don't fear God. Like, alright. Let me explain something to you. Just give me 5 minutes or 3 minutes. When people say that the Bible is not God's word, this is what I interpret now. They are saying that God is not powerful enough to make sure that his word is not tainted. Let me explain that again. When people say that the Bible is not God's word and the prophecies are not real and there will be the end of the earth is this and all type of thing what them say. What they're really saying is because as if aliens were not gonna write it would have a big man down. Alright, so man write it, so what? They were inspired by God to write it. And the words are coming to pass, you can see it every day. So when they say man write it, that's not a genius. Like, who was gonna write it? Who was gonna put down the words on the paper with the ink and something? Somebody had to write it. Just like when a pastor or a prophet have a vision, first thing you do is go in a book and write down everything what God say in a detail, kind of want to forget nothing. And you want to make sure say deliver the message clear. You understand? When they have vision and they wake up, then go in a book and then start write. Saying? So when people say them not believe in the word, then basically I say, God never did, God not have the power enough to make sure so the word is not tainted and it would be delivered to us in its raw form. You know what I mean? Him not have that capability there. But the same person I got said to me say, the man them write the Bible and then the prophecy we have fulfilled, those persons who write it, them have a whole thing where everybody are participating in it to make sure say act just like where prophecy say. So the man them have the power to do that. But God not have the power to do it. And I'm like, you have more belief in man ability to write something 100,000 years ago. If it come to pass 100,000 years after. But God can lay down his word through man in a book. And the same happens. Carol G, what's up? 300 minutes. Big up yourself. Thanks for your support, Carol G. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, because it's a challenge I want for people to really think about what they talk about. Think about what I talk about. Yeah, man. Think about what I talk about, because at the end of the day, we see God's word that come to pass. And that's why I know say enough people now study the Bible, They just follow what people are saying, because God said you're supposed to have a relationship with God. And don't lean on your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, so he can direct thy path. I don't need to write this, I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about God's word. That's what I'm talking about. Man can create religion all they want. I talk about God's word, because a lot of the things them in God's word don't align with some of the religion them. So we not talk about religion, I talk about God's word. You knowing God for yourself. You reading the word for yourself. That's what I talk about. Right? But in all thy ways acknowledge him who, the creator, his son, Jesus Christ, so he can direct thy path. But leave it right there. I have been through all the schools. Of ideas where the Bible is concerned, religion. One of the biggest things them use is culture, African culture, to stir people away from Jesus Christ. Yeah? And the alternative that they're giving in the African cultures, for the most part, is men worshiping men. Men believing in witchcraft and all these other practices and praising your ancestor instead of praising the creator that made your ancestor. Think about it. Men, there are people that believe more in the ancestors than God that created the ancestors. That's why them throw a rump on the ground and do all these spiritual practices. And those are religions too. Again, following God's word and following religion are two different things. Seek God. Go in your private place, like my mother always said. And seek God for yourself and know God for yourself. Have that experience there with God for yourself. Read the Bible, man. Read the Bible. If you're gonna ask me how God created me, read the Bible. Read the Bible. Well, let's move on. I made my point. But they agree or not, it's what it is. So let me come off of this Jamaica. Hold on one second. Let me come off of this. Oh my God. No, that's not it. Wait a minute. There we go. Alright, cool. This. Jamaica see the rights up there when I look for all along with all of me. What? How many gods created men? Ah! Pick up yourself. We're not go get into them conversation, man. Alright, Gota. You we on. Yeah, man. Pick up yourself. I tell you something, go through all of them schools I thought already. What you talk about? All of them. I was doing that for years. Years me I do that for. So you're not come with no conversation with me now. I know reference, I know nothing what me not go through already. In terms of seeking the truth about anything. Remember the Spreader Compound program, and the man analyze every creation story, everything. The man make the life. If you go through everything with the needle and thread, and at the end of it, the man say one name consistent and never failed the test of history, and it was Jesus Christ. And I saw the man give, after him go through everything, the evidence, you understand, the place them, travel the world, read all of the different language them, everything. The man come back right to the creator and his son of God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, powerful, may I tell you. Man have a whole documentary and series for all in travels them. Yeah, man, I tell you, trust me. But you know, hey, I'm way off. Anyway, let's go to this. Not believe me. As I say, when I feel one relationship with God. Yes. Yes, Colin Bell Show. That's where I wanted to go. Colin Bell Show. Where is it? Oh, here it is. There we go. Sure, man. Come on for that now. Yes, Colin Bell Show. Finally get Mr. General.
This is obsession. These are its most epic.
Tried in the world. International the challenge. It would be
on a path with the project.
Yeah.
And now today is Tuesday. Tonight is going to be a serious night if what him want to happen. Yeah? If what Donald Trump want to happen tonight, it is going to be a serious night. That is what he's saying to us. And when bomb
Started in the war.
yes, and a joke me I take it for people to go. So and for that 6 weeks, every week we have an increase at the pumps.
Tomorrow.
Stone age. And if we don't do that, there's this war. And Donald Trump said tonight is going to be a serious night if what him want to happen. Yeah? If what Donald Trump want to happen tonight, it is going to be a serious night. That is what he's saying to us. And when bomb
has resulted in less supply. And the less supply
but Raleigh, let's not go to tonight yet. What have happened?
She was an advisor to the
into a recession.
Slow growth or recession, and they are still not taking heed. So it tells you that they are in a world by themselves.
Let me just say to our viewers and listeners
and say that deal with economics. The World Bank
present budget that they
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, this is a very serious conversation between Colin Bell and good day, by the way. Please help me to get this video up to at least 1,000 likes, right? Right after it. Big up Colin Bell, Portland Spice TV. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to the platform, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm saying this is a serious conversation surrounding world events. What is happening in Iran, how it affects Jamaica, and how this government, led by Andrew Willis, is ill-prepared in really setting up the Jamaican people to actually shelter from the economical storm that is here already. So the storm that is here is brewing, and it coming like Hurricane Melissa. It's just building up. And the longer the war continues in Iran, whatever happens there, it's only going to get worse, Jamaica. Only going to get worse. So let's listen to the genius. Let's listen to the most credible analyst, financial analyst in the Caribbean, Mr. Alston. Let's get it.
They have presented to the people. We were saying that they need to go back and recast the budget and get serious. Nothing of the sort has been done.
Even with the warning from the IMF managing director today, so it tells you how backward they are.
So even with
every international agency that deals with economics, the World Bank, the IMF, the OECD, all the brokerage houses on Wall Street, protecting slower growth or recession, and they are still not taking heed. So it tells you that they are in a world by themselves.
Let me just say to our viewers and listeners, we have our phone lines open. 1-876-804-7072. You can give us a call on WhatsApp, or you can try it straight. Give us a call. But with that said, Raleigh, and what has gone forward already, if the war should stop today, this minute,
it still won't stop the recession.
There you go. So the damage has already been done.
Correct.
What are you hearing from our leaders?
Nothing.
That will set us on a path to look after our people and make sure that the most vulnerable among us don't die for hunger and suffer.
Nothing. Nothing from Fairman Williams, nothing from Andrew Willis, nothing from Mark Golden. We heard some from Julian Robinson.
We heard some from Julian, we don't heard nothing from Mark.
No.
Jamaica, only hear our Rasta Naiman is consistent. Only hear our Rasta Naiman is consistent. Hey, man, say no hear nothing from Mark. How can they say this man this man is not a politician. This man not support politics. This man is not this man deal with just the facts. He might look upon the thing and I say, but me not hear nothing from Mark only. You know, and whether somebody can correct him if he's wrong, but the facts him actually say it. and him not afraid to say it. Without fear or favor. You gotta respect it. Let's go.
But even if Mark come and say it and you said Julian says some, if Andrew Holness and Favor Williams don't take it up, that also means nothing.
Yeah, man, but would like them to be proactive and say something so at least the people can say, contradict what Favor says, that if the PNP was in power, this is what they would have done. The fact that they haven't said anything give her leeway to say what she said.
But Julian said that would start the digital invoicing.
No, man, he also said something about protecting the most vulnerable in terms of energy prices and all that. He had that discussion on RJR 94 with me.
Oh, when was
So Jamaica, even with what Mark Golding and Mr. Julian Robinson said, Ralston Hyman is requesting more of them from their budget speech. Still giving Julian Robinson kudos, but he wanted to hear more from Mark Golding. He said he didn't hear anything. Hey, man. Salute. Let's continue.
Was that today?
No, last week.
Last week. And tell us some of what he put forward then.
Well, he was saying that, I mean, some of the money that they are collecting from the fuel, he would use that to protect the most vulnerable for at least a couple months to see how the war would pan out. And that is what many countries are doing. Australia, the UK, and all of those places. That's the same thing that they're doing. He would invest more in food security because food security is one of the casualties of the war. He made those things very clear.
If you're just joining us, we're talking to Ralston Hyman, ace financial commentator in Jamaica and the Caribbean, none better than him. Let me just apologize to those of you who are having difficulty getting on. We're having some internet issues, and of course, we are basically broadcasting on a shoes lace at this time. So we're just barely holding on, and let me apologize to those who will be listening via Caribbean radio this evening. We're not able to connect to Caribbean radio. I think the system that we use to connect needs very stable internet, and we have not been able to provide that to the source. So we're still trying to connect. Whenever time we get that opportunity, we will be up on Caribbean Radio HD. But in the meantime, we are on Portland Spice TV. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, like, and share the channel. Now, Raleigh, this situation frightens me, and I know it frightens you, based on what happened 2008. What would you love to hear from the government? What would you love to hear from the government now that would give you a sense of comfort?
All right. By the way, before we even get to that, based on the thing that you said at first, the Economic Commission from Latin America, the Caribbean, which is a UN commission, says it has what we call an AI index. And it says Jamaica ranked 13 out of 19 countries on that index. What it says, despite all the talk from the government, there's very little investment in AI and technology in Jamaica.
So we ranked 13 out of 19.
Yeah, ECLAC said that.
So we are in the bottom quarter.
Yeah, man, despite all the talk.
So we're not investing in AI technology.
No, not investing. Just talking. So I tell you, there's a whole lot of talk. I don't mean ECLAC said that. So Jamaica ranks 13 out of 19 countries. They said this is the Latin American Artificial Intelligence Index, underscoring the challenges facing the island's digital adoption, according to ECLAC, Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean.
Who are the countries below us?
Only Venezuela and Bolivia and some other countries. Yeah.
Them kind of countries.
And Cuba. Yeah, them kind of countries.
Like, bro, aren't we all embarrassed, bro? I don't feel shame sometimes. I don't feel like we are Andrew Holness that I put it down. I don't feel it.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk. Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
I don't know about y'all, man, but I be embarrassed low key, bro. Having a leader that's uncertified is enough, and then everything else that follows. The world looking at us like, yo, the Jamaican people ain't soft. Them just they are not take abuse, human rights abuse from the police. The government have persons that clearly are criminals that are operating as lawmakers, And the people them just sit down and watch them and them vote them back in and them they cheer for them. Me embarrassed, me not lie, fully embarrassed. And then you have the Jamaica Labour Party that have people that are actual child molesters that are in their government and in their party, representing on lower tier levels and even potentially high levels as well. Me embarrassed, me not lie, me embarrassed.
Are there any Caribbean countries at Davos?
No. Only the Latin American countries such as Chile and Brazil and those countries.
So, back to the question I asked you first. What would you love to hear from the government to make you comfortable?
Okay. I'd say Jamaicans, we did not fully, we know that there's not be that level of humility, but something like we haven't fully taken into consideration the impact of Hurricane Melissa on the economy, because when we presented the budget, we estimated the damage in terms of infrastructure at 41% of GDP, and the economic losses at only 6% of GDP. But subsequent to the work done by the Transit of Jamaica, yeah, we see it's now 57% of GDP. As a result of that, we will have to adjust the budget. We'll also have to adjust the budget based on the latest developments in the international economy, where all international agencies are assessing that prices will have to accelerate because of the destruction of crude production facilities in the Middle East and the impact of that on all other prices, inflation and all of those things. So as a result of that, we'll be adjusting the budget and drawing down more of the money that we mobilize with the international lending agencies, and we'll change some of the budget numbers. Yeah, we'll also fully look at the procurement process and all those things with a view of investing more in agriculture, renewable energy, given the impact of the war on those things, and the creative industries, given its international competitiveness. That kind of statement we'd like to hear, rather than the nonsense that she's talking, because she's talking nonsense. And the more she speaks, the more she makes herself look very stupid and out of sync with what is happening in global economics and finance.
So this evening, we want to call to the front of the line all the media houses who are praising the budget, all the financial analysts who are praising the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, that you are part of the team that is trying to bamboozle the Jamaican people by saying that this budget presentation was comprehensive. The budget presentation is lacking, and we have been saying that to all of you. Obi, please don't call that number for me, because that number is in a critical position right now. So it is lacking that budget that was presented to the people of Jamaica.
Yeah, man, because fundamentally, every budget in the world is underlined by crude. That is why all the world leaders are running up and down. And we have average crude oil prices at $62 per barrel, while crude is now trading at more than $100 per barrel. And if what happens tonight happens, many experts are saying that crude is going to go to $200 per barrel. And even if it stops tonight, many experts are saying that the lowest crude oil price that you'll see for this year is about $100 per barrel, based on the destruction of facilities, because those are the facilities that are being destroyed at this particular point in time.
Jamaica, did I just hear right?
Just had an interview today with Kurt Booth from Medical Disposables and Supplies, one of the country's leading importers of pharmaceuticals and distributors of pharmaceuticals.
Wow. Let me go back. Yo, what?
Jamaica.
Yeah, man, because fundamentally, every budget in the world is underlined by crude. That is why all the world leaders are running up and down. And we have average crude oil prices at $62 per barrel, while crude is now trading at more than $100 per barrel. And if what happens tonight happens, many experts are saying that crude is going to go to $200 per barrel.
So the threat that Trump made, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but there was a serious, like, he was not playing about Iran and what he's gonna do. And basically, if that happens, experts are saying that crude oil is gonna go to $200 per barrel. Jamaica, do you know how much life is gonna increase in just to buy gas and food, paying a light bill, bus fare, everything. And we have a government that put out a presentation about a budget that did not include any of these possibilities. I want you guys to understand that they are seriously living in Lululand, and they have taken all of you, the Jamaican people that believe in this government. I'm speaking to you specifically. They have taken all of you along for the ride. Man, listen, all we can do right now is hope for the best. All we can do right now is hope for the best. Bruh. Woo, Lord of mercy.
Even if it stops tonight, many experts are saying that the lowest crude oil price that you'll see for this year is about $100 per barrel based on the destruction of facilities, because those are the facilities that are being destroyed at this particular point in time. We just had an interview today with Chris Booth from Medical Disposables and Supplies of the country.
Yo, you never tell a lie, Gutter. JLP rock them to sleep. JLP rock them right to sleep. Mighty God.
Leading importers of pharmaceutical and distributors of pharmaceutical jobs. And he said one of his suppliers called him and tell him that within 10 days all these prices will have to increase.
What? Within 10 days? Play that back.
You today with Chris Booth from Medical Disposables and Supplies, one of the country's leading importers of pharmaceutical and distributors of pharmaceutical jobs. And he said one of his suppliers called him and tell him that within 10 days all these prices will have to increase.
So Jamaica, even the medicine, for those who are taking medicine, your medicine. And you see, Mark Golding talked about this, you know. Oil prices affect medicine. Crude oil prices affect medicine prices. You know, if you have a heart to heart with the labor right there. Me and the labor right there, me should have a heart to heart. Labor right. I talk about the half decent, respectable labor right there. We know how to disagree and not be threatening people because of their position, and you know, now call people no name because you see all that bad labor right there, and them get all that bad energy. You see labor right there were misguided. I don't want to wake up. May I encourage you? Look for anything practical, because this is gonna affect every last one of us. Take the color out on the eye. Put on your color. Choose, really choose Jamaica now. Not the tagline that they were selling us. Just really choose Jamaica. Choose Jamaica. And that means every last one of us. Your brothers, your sisters, your uncle, all of them are PMP, Labour, NDM, OP, UIC. I don't care. Really choose Jamaica. How can you accept a government, a leadership that does not address the biggest elephant in the room, where your budget speech is concerned? The war in Iran, oil prices, no plan. Something just come out. Iran win, Trump falls, and America have to pay for his mistakes. I don't know. That's somebody that I watch on YouTube that just said that and they pop up on the timeline. But listen, that means the war is gonna continue for a longer period of time. That's all that means. Which is more problems for us in the West. Please, food security, just labor, just think for me, please. One thing that will affect everybody: food security, access to food, affording food, water. No medicine prices. Come on. No labor rights. Labor rights. Let's really think about it. Just forget about the colors. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. And the government literally could have done things if they were listening. You know, from last year, Raleigh, I tell them to ramp up the economy, start rebuild, get some people in. Me all I say, yo, can we get some people in the community who have skill, that have the skills that are certified, right? And then start them build back the community. Right? Hire people and use up the money, get the people in the ground so you can funnel the money into the economy so people are get work and actually rebuild at the same time, and not just rebuild, but rebuild in such a way where we understand, say, yo, we have built back resilience for real in terms of these stuff. Not just build up back the same one, something the same one way. Right? Ramp it up. But we didn't do that. We haven't done it, and it's been 6 months now. Nara still hasn't gotten off the ground. I don't know about you laborers, but this is just unacceptable. Jamaica speaks, studies the word. The word. Big up yourself. Let's continue.
No.
Remember those are the facilities that are being destroyed in the war.
Yes, I know joke me I take it for people, but this not simple enough. This is not simple.
The man them said this is the greatest oil shock in the history of the world. You hear me? All the experts, the greatest oil shock in the history of the entire world.
I was listening I think the other day with a man talking about the oil shock back in the 70s, the oil crisis, and they were mentioning that out of that oil crisis, we found good leaders and saved the world for about 50 years with this whole oil situation. But what is happening with the oil crisis now? We don't see any leaders emerging from it to really take the world into the next 50 years. And this seems like we're going to be in trouble for the next 50 years.
Correct. Yeah, man. The greatest disruption in the history of the world.
And we're going to see prices rise like never before.
Never before.
And we have people praising the budget presentation.
So there are people that are singing for themselves, man. Total nonsense. It has no foundation in economics and finance.
876-804-7072. We're taking all your calls. And to hear all who believe that a budget was presented to the people of Jamaica with any form of credibility. Hold on for me, Raleigh. That a budget with any form of credibility was presented to the people of Jamaica. We are saying that the budget that was presented have absolutely no credibility and therefore must be recast. You agree with me, Raleigh?
Walking makes you old.
Hold on, Raleigh. Go ahead now. No. Hold on, that's not working. Sorry about that. My bad. Let's go back to this. It's trying to get the other phone up. But
so, I'm not going to really touch upon no more upon that. I'm going to go over there on Portland Spice TV and make sure you subscribe so we can get these in-depth analysis from none other than Ralston Hyman on the Colin Bell Show, Portland Spice TV. That is it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Trouble, Jamaica. Trouble. We in a trouble. We in a trouble. More teeth piece of this. Yeah, teeth piece of this. Look at argument and have a TPs and look at argument and put it out and I told me to say how you wait out mortgage it there with that interview where I know people and I don't know what it is.
Start up. Not by young things like technology, data analytics, and all the different things that are possible. Not very good at the moment. I had called in. I don't know if you want to try and call me. Maybe it would be. All right, good. What we
43111 or 9
period of campaigning leading up to the last general election, because we had prior to that,
and the big 93 here at the Conrad Obi, the Fireman YouTube channel. We also stream live by talking to the leader of the G and .com.
Alright, my people, so Obi the Fireman along with Mark Jefferson Golding. Make sure so go back to Obi the Fireman on YouTube and subscribe to the platform. See? Make we listen to this conversation at the second portion of the interview with Mr. Mark Jefferson Golding, speaking on some. This was a great interview, by the way. I believe, this was a 9 out of 10. I think Mr. Obi, the Fireman, him asks all of the questions them what people want to hear about, because there's been a lot of criticism about the People's National Party, all of the topics them surrounding the PMP, the JLP, scandal, them everything, the approach to by-elections and stuff like that. This was a very good interview. Alright, so let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Get this video to 1,000 likes, alright? That is it.
So stay with us. Of course, we've been talking to the leader of the opposition and People's National Party President, Mark Jefferson Golding, Marky G. And of course, we are putting a few questions to him. We asked Mr. Golding just before the break, let me just welcome back, Mr. Golding. Thanks for coming back, sir.
Yeah, man. I can hear you well. Thank you.
Good. All right. So we were asking the question, as leader of the People's National Party, how are you working to, reconnect with voters, especially those who feel disillusioned with traditional politics?
Okay. Well, as you know, we went through a long period of campaigning leading up to the last general election, because we had, prior to that, the local government elections had been held in 2024. And then those have been put off 3 times. So basically for about 3 to 4 years, we were campaigning fairly intensely. So after the general elections, I admit that we went through a relatively quiet period. People needed to recharge their batteries and rethink the approach they've been taking to this and all that kind of thing. So we've been working on what we consider to be the strategies that are necessary at this time to connect with people who may be turned off from the process or disinterested in public affairs. So we are going to be arranging. I don't want to say too much about it, because we're in a competitive political arena, so I don't want to disclose all of what we plan to do. But essentially, we want to engage in a more meaningful way with people who perhaps are not typically going to go out to a political meeting or a rally and so on, but may welcome the opportunity to discuss issues of concern either to their specific sector or their profession or whatever it may be. So we're going to be moving more on a kind of, I would say, closer, not one-on-one, but more interactive format that can allow people to exchange views and feel engaged in the process. So that is the next step of what we plan to be doing, and we're working through the details as to how we want to roll that out. We also have some plans in terms of trying to increase our presence in the media, which is a challenge for us, because we know that the Jamaica Labour Party have very strong backing in the media landscape at the moment.
No lies detected, Jamaica. Here what the man said about the JLP having the media backing. No lies detected, Jamaica. No, not even one single one minute detect. Only detect any? Oh, I thought so. Let's continue.
Strong backing in the media landscape at the moment. Certainly, they seem to effectively control the narrative from one media house, and then there's another that is very closely aligned to them as well. So we need to find ways of countering that. That's something that we have been looking at as well.
He needs some milk.
And then there's another that is very closely aligned to them as well. So we need to find ways of countering that. That's something that we have been looking at as well. But overall, you want to have to face oneself in the politics, because you can't be campaigning year in, year out indefinitely, because it takes a lot of effort to do that. So you have to kind of time that appropriately. But in where we are now in the electoral cycle is a time, I think, for developing our policy positions and our messaging in a changing world environment as well, because what we had come to the country with in the 2025 general election, those ideas remain relevant, but we are always looking to update them and add other things and modify things that are no longer necessary or relevant, and so on, as the world goes through fairly seismic changes, such as what we're seeing now with the whole geopolitical situation and the war that's occurring in the Middle East now, so which is affecting everything, affecting the flow of oil and gas, affecting shipping prices, and it's going to affect so many aspects of life that we are going to also have to reappraise our strategies as a nation, and certainly us as a party, as to how we try and achieve greater self-reliance and can weather these storms, both natural disasters and man-made situations like what we're seeing now.
Indeed. Listeners, if you just join us, we're in a discussion with the president of the People's National Party and indeed opposition leader, Mark Jefferson Golden, Marky G. And Mr. Golden, talking about the whole business of the politics, before I get into a few things as it relates to the budget, there are whispers certainly in the eastern part of the island that there could be some movement there. Long-standing member of parliament for Western Portland, Darrell Vars, it is argued that he could be stepping aside. Don't know if the present investigation or audit by the AG would be so damning that he can't withstand that on the $1.4 billion bus, what is now known as a bus scandal, used bus scandal. How are you?
Before him getting another question, then I like what you say, I am redeemed. You see how type of approach where Mark Golden put towards the thing, looking at everything, the ideas them that the People's National Party have in terms of the manifesto with love. They are looking to evolve those ideas because they have to adapt to what's happening in the world. So then probably have to tighten up on some things and alter some things in terms of those ideas. Then probably have to increase and ramp up the effort of those ideas for squeeze out more productivity for help the people that is in need. Evolution, Jamaica. There's no evolution in the ideas of the Jamaica Labour Party. Actually, they ignore the problem. I hope that we don't see that they ignore the problem. When it comes to what's happening, the biggest thing that is happening in the world right now that's affecting the world. Yeah, alright? Let's continue.
You shaping up there? Is it a situation where if we're early in the cycle, the political cycle, prior to the reason the PNP said they would not contest by-election because we were so close to a general election and they considered waste of time. Now we are only 6 months out. Should a by-election be announced in the near or mid-future, will the PNP contest such a by-election, and could whoever offering themselves there or the party give the nod to offer themselves there depend on full backing, because of course by-election is normally a party versus party kind of scenario? Could you speak to us on that, sir?
Right. Well, I can't give you a firm commitment as to whether we would or wouldn't contest the by-election, but it would depend on the circumstances and when it was called and so on. But put it this way, West Portland is a seat that we have held in the past. And although the incumbent MP has been there for quite a long time now, you know, we have seen where, you know, we have been able to make inroads. And
through your candidate, Doreen Campbell Forbes. She did well.
Through Doreen's political work and effort. And we feel that, you know, this is something that we're not going to give up on that seat by any means. So, you know, what I would say is, especially if it's signaled that that he intends to retire from politics midstream, so to speak, then you know, we will have to prepare ourselves for that and see whether that's an opportunity for us to win back that seat. So, you know, we're aware of the rumors. We're aware of it. In fact, I've even had conversations with him personally quite recently where he kind of hinted that that was the direction he wants to go. Though in terms of the time frame, I'm not sure what that time frame really is. But you know, we need to focus on rebuilding or strengthening the organization of the party on the ground. That's a critical thing. Uniting the organization on the ground as well, which is also very important. So that if that eventuality arises, we are ready to, if we want to contest it, we know that we can do so in a competitive way.
Indeed.
So, you know, that's what I would say.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Golden, the budget presentation had just been completed. We heard from the Minister of Finance, we heard from the Prime Minister, yourself, and indeed Julian Robinson. As a broadcast journalist, watching reading the tea leaves, has to basically peruse these things and so on. I note where the budget was actually crafted at $62 per barrel for oil. That in itself was certainly something that was quite anomalous to me, because indeed at that point the oil was already about $70 per barrel. So that in itself was some issue there. Since the scenario here with the war.
Yo, me nah make it do that to you, know, anomalous. Me nah make it do that to you, because me don't know that word. I mean, know enough people don't know it neither. Anomalous. Alright, what does anomalous mean? It means deviating from what is standard, normal, or expected. Mighty God. Jamaica, make me show no, because I know what I feel like say. Me I make up, no. When you hear the word that Obi use, I want to go, Obi always drop some big word power, you know. Oh, sorry about that. I'm not going to see it because I have Marky G on the screen 2 times. Let me take him off, so we can see what I go on. See the Jamaica, anomalous. ANOMALOUS. Deviating from what is expected, or what is standard, or what is normal. So make we listen back the argument to make us sound. You see me? So I will just provide context based off of the meaning of the word, not true? Make we listen back what Obi has said right there. So.
Craft at $62 per barrel for oil. That in itself was certainly something that was quite anomalous to me, because indeed at that point the oil was already about $70 per barrel. So that in itself was some issue there. Since the scenario here with the war, we have seen where I think oil is about $103, $107 per barrel. How problematic is this for the present budget that was crafted and presented to the Jamaican people?
I think it's problematic because the price of oil affects the budget in many different ways. It's a complex relationship. First of all, you know, there is the fact that the foreign exchange that it will take to purchase the supplies of fuel that the country needs, it's going to be a greater level of foreign exchange. It's going to put more pressure on reserves of the country. And, you know, fortunately we have quite substantial reserves, but which have been built up over time. But if there's a sustained period of high oil prices, that will at some point start to become a challenge for the central bank and the management of the foreign exchange reserves and the foreign exchange system as a whole, including the exchange rate. Then there is the fact that it's going to push up prices across the economy, because as we know, oil and gas affect everything. It affects the energy costs, electricity, transportation costs, and manufacturing items that rely on energy, obviously, to produce, but also petrochemicals and other things. Pharmaceuticals, there's a range of products which rely or use oil-based or petrochemical-based inputs, and all of that is going to be impacted if this thing continues into the medium term. So all of that is going to mean people are going to come under increasing pressure. Cost of living is going to be harder for people to manage. There's going to be calls on the government to respond to that, which is going to cost money, which is not budgeted. So they're going to have to recast the budget. There are some upsides as well, because the government taxes
windfall there.
So, and that includes an ad valorem tax. So that as the price goes up, their revenue increases. So there's that aspect of it as well. But at the same time, the government also uses a lot of electricity and uses, transportation services and so on. So there are costs that are also being incurred by the government, right across government. So, it's a complex relationship, but there is no doubt that if this situation continues into the medium term, and when I say medium term, I mean rather than say a month, which is what it's been going for now, more or less. If it was to continue for months, then I think it would require some recasting of the budget in a fairly serious way.
Good. That said, Mr. Golden, the ad valorem tax and indeed other attendant taxes that we as motorists pay at the pump, we are seeing across the globe where countries are now giving some kind of reprieve. Do you believe that, especially against the background that we have been paying the $7.50 per liter that should have gone to the edge, and we have no edge? You believe that it's time you think it's unreasonable for motorists to say to the government, it is time for us to get a reprieve, and do you believe that the government is so in a position so to do?
I certainly do, because as you mentioned, and this is it's kind of ironic, we were, when we were last in government, the private sector in particular was clamoring for Jamaica to enter into a hedging program, which was designed to ensure that we purchased insurance, essentially, for
Jamaica. Breaking news. Breaking news, Jamaica. Speaking to similar thing where Mr. Golden is talking about, and everybody is talking about. Breaking news. This is actually good news. I will need some good news. Mighty God, we need some good news. Need some good news. The US and Iran have agreed to 2 weeks of ceasefire. Iran's official, as a matter of fact, make uno hear it, cause everybody, I know kill out my voice, right? I guess I'll have to just read. Anyway, Iran's Supreme National Security Council says it has accepted 2-week ceasefire in the war. Its statement said it would negotiate with the United States in Islamabad beginning Friday. It is emphasized that this does not signify the termination of the war, the statement said. Our hands remain upon the trigger, and should the slightest error be committed by the enemy, it shall be met with full force. Jamaica, can you hear that? Mighty God. But wages remain the same. Talk truth, I am redeemed. US President Donald Trump says he's pulling back on his threats to widen attack on Iran. The president says that this includes an array of bridges, power plants, and other civilian targets, subject to Iran being ready for a 2-week ceasefire and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Trump's latest threat over the Iran war hit a new extreme early Tuesday when he warned a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again if Iran failed to make a deal that includes reopening the vital Strait of Hormuz. The Republican president's earlier comments were swiftly met with condemnation from Democrats, some Make America Great Again supporters who have since broken with Trump and the first American Pope. Even the Pope is against Trump at this point. Earlier today, the U.S. struck military targets on Iranian oil hub of Card Island, according to White House officials, who was not authorized to speak publicly and spoke on condition of anonymity. The attack marked the second time the island was targeted. Israeli warplanes meanwhile struck bridges and railways in Iran. Iran's president said Tuesday that 14 million Iranians, including himself, had volunteered to sacrifice their lives in the war. The figure is doubled the other figures mentioned by state media in the past. Iran is home to 90 million people. God damn. Sheesh. Whew. So there you have it. Breaking news. Let's continue.
Future spikes in the price of oil which was designed to ensure that we purchased insurance essentially for the future spikes in the price of oil that would result in payments coming to Jamaica that would balance against the additional costs that you have to pay to buy oil with higher prices. And this was at a time when it was advantageous to do it because the price of oil then was relatively low. Now, we saw the sense in that, and in order to finance it, we put in place a dedicated tax to finance that, which you mentioned, and when the Labour Party came into government, they decided they didn't think it was necessary or wise to do this. Oil prices were low, they didn't think the insurance was necessary, so they abandoned the hedging program which had been put in place. But they didn't abandon the tax, they kept the tax, and the motorists are still paying that tax today. But there is no hedging program in place, and now we're faced with a situation where oil prices have spiked. They've gone from in the $60 range per barrel up to the $100 range per barrel, and motorists are seeing these increases week after week after week. I believe Petrojam has been absorbing some of this. I think I've heard, a large figure of what it has cost them so far, but they're going to have to pass it on to motorists because Petrojam has been making losses for the last few years and it's not in a strong financial position, and any further losses are going to have to be paid by the Ministry of Finance. So this is another aspect of why the budget is going to come under pressure, because if they use Petrojam as a mechanism to take some of the pressure off of motorists by having Petrojam absorb some of those prices, those losses are going to have to be financed from the government through the budget. So it's a difficult situation, but yes, other countries have stepped up. Close to home, I know Barbados has done various things. They have, for example, I think adjusted their taxes on fuel or put certain caps in place so that motorists and consumers don't bear the full brunt of the hit. We haven't seen any formal announcement of anything being put in place. I have been told that Petrojam has not passed on all of those price increases to motorists as they have arisen, and they have been generating some losses as a result of that. So they've been doing that kind of without making much of it, but that is not a sustainable model unless a policy is put in place to support it.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed. Mr. Golden. In the interest of time, I have two more that I want to get in. But let us just remind our listeners that the reason, one of the things that Petrojam is forced to basically absorb, because I think the present setup, and you can guide me on this, Mr. Golden, is that they cannot pass on an increase on a weekly basis of over $4.50. So what they have been doing for the last, I think, 4 weeks or so, 4 going to 5 weeks, they have been basically giving the maximum $4.50 at the pump increase. So they have been absorbing some, as you said, and indeed Petrojam had said so in their own words. Now, Mr.
Jamaica, in terms of the edge tax, you know, see how this government are cunning. You see how them cunning. Them still was taking, well, they are still taking the money from the taxi man for the extra tax. The tax was made, put there by the PMP for a day like this. So you would be insuring your oil prices pretty much. Insurance on oil prices for these types of situations. But because oil prices was down and the JLP have no vision, them say, yeah man, oil prices down now. So you know, them never did remember so one war the day in Iran. Them never did realize things are going in one direction for a long time geopolitically between Iran. The war was going on with Ukraine, and Russia. They never thought that things could. I mean, everybody has been talking about a potential World War III, you know. It's been the conversation globally. How in God's green earth we have one set of politicians where get paid all this money and they never considered this to be a factor, a potential factor. Come on, man. Listen, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, bro. I'm not gonna go to the other questions. I asked 2 questions again. You guys can go over to Obi the Fireman on YouTube and make sure you gonna go subscribe to the page, follow him. Alright. See right there? Yeah? Alright, good. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Shout out to Obi the Fireman for excellent interview, and shout out to Mark Jefferson Golden for really being brutally honest with the people of some of the stuff that's coming, you know what I mean? I come go on my bed now, yeah, man. Come go on my bed now, Jamaica. Tomorrow, we pick up where we left off. Alright. Yeah, I come go on my bed now. Never say me I go sleep, but I come go on my bed now, because I work for it. God bless you guys. See y'all later, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Yeah. I'll see if I can go live early in the morning. You know, depending on, not early in the morning, but maybe, I don't know, 11, 12, maybe 10, maybe 10. Alright, but yeah, see you guys later, man. I appreciate y'all. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Alright? Peace and blessings. Thank you, TikTok. Big up on yourself.
Produces politicians. It doesn't produce leaders. And so you can have a politician who knows nothing about leadership and he's leading you. Politicians are concerned about the next election. That's all they're interested in. That's why they cannot be leaders. But leaders are different. Leaders are concerned about the next generation. I want you to compare those two thoughts the next time you have a politician come to your house. What is your vision for my children? I will sit and listen for 20 minutes for you to tell me what it is. he will leave your house. And your children's children. His position to win the next election. This is why they cannot lead. When you are going to have a conversation with a politician, you should actually try this as a test. You, by the way, as a citizen of a community, you have a right to be seen by the mayor. I hope you know that. If you voted for a mayor, the mayor works for you. Therefore, you have a right to see him. You can make an appointment to see any public officer you voted for. Did you know that? That's your legal right. If he don't want to see you, you can take him to court. That's democracy. So I want you to make an appointment to go and see your mayor or go and see your governor and just sit and say, I want 30 minutes with you, sir. And ask him about that list right there. And sir, what is your purpose for being in leadership in this city? What is your purpose? The first question will make him very nervous. Second question, what is your passion for our community? He'll be wondering what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I just want to build roads and bridges and provide jobs. No. What is your passion? And this is why we need to question the leaders we have. And so I have a little thought here. I call it politics versus leadership. Let's talk about it for a second. Number one, politicians focus on programs, not vision. Number two, politicians' priority is securing the next election, not securing the next generation. Their focus is different. Number three, politicians are preoccupied with promises, not purpose. What we need is statesmen. We don't need more politicians. A statesman is an interesting